Imagine waking up tomorrow and seeing one headline everywhere. Scientists have found another Earth. Not a frozen world, not a giant ball of gas, but a planet almost exactly like ours. Blue oceans, green continents, white clouds, and an atmosphere containing oxygen. The planet is orbiting another star in the perfect region for liquid water. Scientists give it a simple nickname, Earth 2.0. At first, everyone asks the same question: could humans live there? But then astronomers discover something far more important. When powerful telescopes analyze the planet's atmosphere, they detect gases that are difficult to explain naturally. Oxygen, methane, water vapor. Together, they could be signs of life. Suddenly, this isn't just another planet. It could be a living world. Governments immediately begin planning new space missions. Scientists propose enormous telescopes capable of photographing the planet in greater detail. And humanity becomes obsessed with one question: are we looking at another version of Earth? Then, a new image arrives. At first, scientists think it's an error. On the dark side of the planet, tiny points of light appear. They look strangely similar to city lights. The observation is repeated. The lights are still there. If they're artificial, then Earth 2.0 isn't simply alive. It may already have a civilization. But the biggest surprise comes several days later. A radio telescope detects a signal coming from the exact same planet. It's repeating, perfectly organized, impossible to explain as natural noise. Scientists decode the first part, and the message contains something nobody expected: a sequence of numbers, followed by a simple image. A map of our solar system. They already know where Earth is. And suddenly, humanity realizes we didn't discover them first. They may have been watching us all along. The signal changes everything. Within hours, observatories around the world point toward Earth 2.0. Scientists analyze every second of the transmission. The first image showed our solar system. But the next part contains something even more disturbing. A picture of Earth. Not an ancient image, not a rough diagram. It shows our continents exactly as they look today. Then another message appears, a sequence of mathematical patterns, prime numbers, chemical elements, the structure of DNA. Whoever sent this signal isn't simply proving they're intelligent. They're trying to create a language we can understand. Humanity decides to respond. A powerful radio transmission is sent toward Earth 2.0. It contains information about us, our mathematics, our biology, our planet, and one simple question: who are you? But there's a problem. Earth 2.0 is hundreds of light years away. Normally, we would have to wait centuries for an answer. Then, only 3 days later, another signal arrives. Scientists are stunned. That's impossible. No ordinary radio message could travel that distance so quickly. The civilization on Earth 2.0 must possess technology capable of communicating across space in a way we don't understand. The new transmission contains only 4 words: we have found you. Then Earth's satellites begin detecting something unusual. Far beyond the orbit of Neptune, a small object appears. It wasn't there before. It isn't an asteroid, and it isn't a comet. It's slowing down, then changing direction, moving deliberately toward Earth. Governments track it in secret, but amateur astronomers soon discover it too. Within hours, the entire world knows. Something from Earth 2.0 may already be inside our solar system. And then, the object sends one final transmission. This time, directly toward Earth. Do not be afraid, but beneath that message is another line. One that makes scientists far more nervous. You are not the first Earth we have found. And suddenly, the discovery of a second Earth becomes part of a much bigger mystery. The mysterious object continues moving toward Earth. Every telescope capable of seeing deep space is now watching it. At first, scientists estimate that it will take several months to reach us. Then the object accelerates, not gradually, instantly. Within minutes, its speed becomes impossible to explain with any technology humanity possesses. And yet, there is no visible exhaust, no enormous heat signature, no evidence of a conventional engine. The object simply moves. 3 days later, it reaches the orbit of the moon. For the first time, humanity gets a clear image. It isn't shaped like the spacecraft from our movies. There are no wings, no windows, no obvious engines. It's a perfectly smooth black structure, almost 2 kilometers long. Then it stops. Completely. For 12 hours, nothing happens. Millions of people watch live broadcasts. Military aircraft are placed on alert. Governments prepare emergency plans. Some people celebrate, others panic. Religious leaders address their followers. Markets crash. Schools close. And across the planet, humanity waits. Then every major radio telescope receives the same transmission. This time, the message is much longer. Scientists begin translating it. The visitors explain that their planet is incredibly similar to Earth. Oceans cover most of its surface. Its atmosphere contains oxygen. Its gravity is almost identical. Life evolved there billions of years ago. And eventually, an intelligent species appeared. But they aren't human. Their biology followed a completely different evolutionary path. Still, their civilization faced many of the same problems we did. War, disease, climate change, resource shortages, artificial intelligence, and the possibility of destroying themselves. They survived. Then they began exploring the stars. At first, they believed planets like Earth were extremely rare. But after thousands of years of exploration, they discovered something strange. Earth-like worlds weren't as rare as expected. There were dozens, then hundreds, and on several of them, intelligent civilizations had developed. Some were primitive, some were more advanced than humanity. Others had already disappeared, but there was something even stranger. Many of these civilizations developed in remarkably similar ways. They built cities, created machines, discovered electricity, developed computers, looked toward the stars, and eventually asked the same question: are we alone? Scientists on Earth struggle to understand how such similar histories could happen on completely different planets. Then the visitors reveal their theory. They believe intelligent life across the galaxy may not be completely independent. Billions of years ago, something may have deliberately spread the building blocks of life across thousands of worlds. Earth, and Earth 2.0, could be distant branches of the same ancient experiment. Then another transmission arrives. It contains a map. Thousands of star systems appear. Several are highlighted. The visitors explain that these are worlds where intelligent civilizations once existed. But most of the lights are red. Extinct. Some civilizations destroyed themselves through war. Others ruined their planets. Some lost control of technologies they created. And a few simply disappeared without explanation. Then one star begins flashing. Our sun. Beside it appears a number. Scientists translate its meaning. Humanity has reached a stage that the visitors have seen many times before. A civilization becomes technologically powerful enough to transform its planet, but not yet wise enough to control everything it creates. According to their records, this is one of the most dangerous periods any intelligent species experiences. The visitors aren't here to conquer Earth. They aren't here to steal our resources. They came because they believe humanity is approaching a crossroads. Survive the next few centuries, and we could become an interstellar civilization. Fail, and Earth could become another red light on their map. Then the black spacecraft finally moves. It slowly enters Earth's atmosphere. But instead of landing in a major city, it travels toward an isolated region of the Pacific Ocean. Satellites follow it. The craft stops above the water. A section of its surface opens. Something emerges. A smaller object descends toward the ocean, and disappears beneath the waves. Hours pass. Then something extraordinary happens. A massive structure begins rising from the ocean floor. Scientists immediately realize something terrifying. The structure isn't new. It has been buried beneath Earth's ocean for thousands of years. The visitors knew exactly where it was. Governments demand an explanation. Finally, Earth 2.0 sends another message. We did not build it. Scientists ask who did. The answer arrives seconds later. The civilization that connected our worlds. Within hours, the signals spread across the galaxy. Dozens of distant star systems respond. Then hundreds. Humanity realizes the impossible truth. Earth and Earth 2.0 were never isolated worlds. They were part of something much larger. The ancient structure beneath the Pacific begins transmitting information. Scientists discover that it contains records, billions of years old. According to those records, an unknown civilization once traveled across the galaxy searching for planets capable of supporting life. Whenever they found one, they left behind the biological ingredients necessary for life to begin. Earth was one of those planets. Earth 2.0 was another. But they didn't create humans. They simply planted the first seeds, then allowed evolution to decide what came next. For billions of years, the network remained silent, waiting. Its purpose was simple. When civilizations became advanced enough to discover one another, the network would activate. Humanity had finally reached that moment. Then something appears at the edge of the solar system. Not one spacecraft, thousands. But they aren't approaching as an invasion fleet. Each vessel comes from a different civilization. Some are biological, some are entirely artificial, others have forms humanity cannot even understand. Earth has just been introduced to a galactic community that has existed for millions of years. Then, one final signal arrives. It comes from far beyond the Milky Way, older than every other transmission. The message is translated, the network is complete. Scientists realize what this means. The civilization that created the system may still exist. But it left the Milky Way millions of years ago. Before leaving, it created thousands of living worlds, hoping that one day those worlds would find each other. Earth wasn't chosen because humans were special. We were simply one possibility among thousands. But now, for the first time in human history, we know exactly where we belong. Not alone on one tiny planet, but inside an enormous family of civilizations scattered among the stars. Earth 2.0 becomes humanity's first connection. Scientists exchange knowledge, languages are translated, images of both worlds travel between civilizations. And eventually, humans begin preparing for the greatest journey in our history. Not to conquer another planet, not to escape Earth, but to meet another civilization, face to face. Years later, the first human spacecraft reaches Earth 2.0. The crew looks through the windows. Below them are blue oceans, green continents, clouds drifting across the atmosphere, and lights covering the night side of the planet. For a moment, it almost looks like home. Then thousands of lights rise from the surface. The inhabitants of Earth 2.0 are coming to meet us. And humanity finally understands something extraordinary. For thousands of years, we looked into the night sky wondering whether anyone else was out there. But perhaps the universe was never empty. Perhaps we simply hadn't found each other yet.